So today we'll see over the core Java basics, sir. So do you have any idea about Java?
I don't have any idea about Java.
Okay. Java is a general purpose, high level programming language. High level programming or high level object programming language. We can call it as object. We can also call it as object oriented programming language. We'll say it as language. So object oriented programming language is nothing but OOPS. So it is a general purpose or high level programming language, or can also called as a object oriented programming language. This Java is used, this is used for designing and developing the web application. Developing the applications. Developing the applications. It may be any kind of applications we can test it out. We can test any number, any type of application we can test it out. Next, it is developed. Yeah, it is developed. It is developed by James Gosling. It is developed by James Gosling. Next, it is developed in Sun Microsystems. Sun Microsystems in 1995. In 1995. Next, actually, when you come, the first version of the Java is first version is Java 1.0, which is released in 1995. It is released in 1995. Next, first initially, instead of using the Java, they use a term called as first name released as Oaks. OAK, oak. Then it goes to green later on Java. This Java is nothing but a coffee seed. It's nothing but a coffee seed. We can call it as a coffee seed values Java. Now, when do we use this Java? Actually, this Java is a platform. It is an open source tool. This is an open source tool or platform independent tool. Open source tool is nothing but it is a free downloading software. Okay, na? Downloading software. And platform independent tool is nothing but it supports multiple operating systems. So Java is an open source tool, or it is a platform independent tool which is used for designing and developing the applications. This is the part. Now, using Java, there are many features to be worked on that. So what are the features of Java? So we'll come from features of Java. The first one is Java is a platform independent tool. It is a platform independent tool. The second one is it is an object oriented. What do you mean by object oriented? Nothing but we need, whenever you're creating any structure, whenever you're creating a methods, or whenever you're creating a class, or whenever you're creating a function, without an object we cannot create any method, or we cannot create any function. So it is an object oriented. Based on the object we can create any structure for the class. Any structure for the class. Next, it is more securable when compared with other programming language. Security, it is more securable when compared with the other programming language by creating an object. Next, it is more flexible. It is more flexible. Flexible in the sense, whatever the program you written in Windows, you can run the same program in Mac. You can run the same programming in other operating systems. So that is more flexible. So you can run the same application, and you can also modify. We can also modify the Java. We can modify the programming based upon your client requirement. That is a flexible. Mean you can validations can be done based upon the requirement. You can run the same programming in operating system. That is more flexible. Next, it is a portable. Portable is nothing but you can run the same program in multiple operating systems, multiple browsers, multiple operating system can be supportable. Flexible is difference between flexible and portable is flexible is nothing but you can make changes during runtime process. You can change your requirements as per the client. Portable is nothing but you can run the same programming in multiple operating systems, Next, it is more multi-threading. Multi-threading mean you can do multiple tasks at a time. Parallel you can do. You can run multiple programs at a time. You can run multiple programs. More than one program can be executed parallelly. Okay, now got it?
Got it.
So okay, sir, ఏం చేయండి? You can run any number of programs and thread అంటే ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ అనుకోండి సార్. మల్టిపుల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ ఒకేసారి రన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. You can run multiple programs at a time. So it is a platform independent tool. It is an object oriented programming language. It has more securable than other programming language. It is more flexible. It is more portable. It is more multi-threading also. It is a simple, easiest programming language. It is easy programming language which the user can understand. So these are all the different. So platform independent is what is the program India? What is the program India? Run the program in multiple operating systems at a time. Object oriented, creating objects for structure or methods or functions. Security, more it is a more secure programming language. Next, it is more flexible. What is the flexible? Modifications as per the requirement. We can make the modifications. Portable, so written the program in one system can run in multiple systems at a time. Okay, multi-threading ante
You can
run more than one task at a time. Okay, sorry, any task మనం ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. Next, easy to understand the programming language to the user. It is more easy to understand to the programming. So these are all the features of your Java. Next, what kind of application you can design? So types of applications can be designed by using Java. What kind of applications we can design using Java? What are the types of Java? The first one, we can design window applications. We can develop web applications. We can develop web applications. Next, we can design embedded system applications. Next, we can design scientific applications. next games, next aeronautical applications, next any other things, mathematical applications, database database connectivity, applications, next android applications, android applications android applications. Next, these are all the types of applications we can design using Java. ఓకేనా? సో మనం ఏం చేయొచ్చు, విండో అప్లికేషన్ డిజైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్స్ డిజైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, ఎంబెడెడ్ సిస్టమ్ అంటే టీవీ టెలివిజన్ రిమోట్ కానీ సిమ్ కార్డ్స్ కానీ అలాంటివి డిజైన్ చేయొచ్చు, సైంటిఫిక్ అప్లికేషన్స్, నెక్స్ట్ గేమ్ అప్లికేషన్స్, నెక్స్ట్ aeronautical applications, space and helicopters, airplanes, those kind of things which you can work in. Next, mathematical applications, sudoku, those kind of applications. Next, database connectivity, JDBC, ODBC, those kind of applications you can design. Android applications like Selena, like what are the they're having Samsung, right? There are many mobile phones which are going to for with Android. Without the Java software, you cannot run any application. You cannot open your any application. Okay, na? So those kind of applications we can design using Java. So these are all the different types of applications where we can design. Okay, Krishna?
Okay.
So ఈ type
Yes.
of applications ని మనం చేస్తామంట. ఓకే, సో ఇందులో ఫస్ట్ ఏంటంటే సింటాక్స్. వాట్ ఈస్ ద సింటాక్స్ ఫర్ యూజింగ్ జావా? syntax using Java. What is the syntax using in Java? ఈ జావాలో సింటాక్స్ ఎలా యూస్ చేస్తామంటే, సో whenever you're creating class name with open braces, okay, with open braces. Now public static void main string comma args. Under that, so we need to something like system.out.println welcome. We already worked with in Eclipse. First of all, what we are doing, we are going to create a project package in a class. Under the class name, and we have selected the method like public static void main, right? And where we have written the program inside the method. So actually, when you want to compile the program without the main method public static void main, you cannot compile the program. మనం ఏం చేయాలి, ఏదైనా ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ రాసినప్పుడు మన మెయిన్ మెథడ్ లేకపోతే జావా ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ అనేది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వదు. సో దే షుడ్ బి సమ్ మెయిన్ మెథడ్. వాట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ మెథడ్ హియర్? పబ్లిక్ స్టాటిక్ వాయిడ్ మెయిన్ స్ట్రింగ్ కామా ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్. ఇక్కడ what is the this all these things will comes after. First one, class. What is a class? Can you define a class? Class ante what is a class, sir? Anybody?
Class is an object-oriented language.
Okay, so class is nothing but it is a keyword. It is a keyword which is used to define in the Java. So when you want to write a program without the class name and without the method, you cannot write a program. So it is a keyword. You may ask me, sir, what do you mean by keyword? A keyword is a predefined system library function. It is a system defined library function. So which we can say it as it is a system built defined, or we can also call it as a keyword, or we can also call it as a predefined. చూడండి, so I'm going to open my Eclipse. See this in the program. See, whenever we are creating a class, whenever we are creating a class in this, what we're doing, right click on that, go to new class, and we're going to mention the class name test1. So we are selecting the public static void main. Yes, we're selecting the public static void main. Click finish.
Finish.
So package name is okay. And see, this is a public class package. These are all called as predefined or keywords or system defined words. System defined or predefined or keywords. See, test one is user defined. Test one is user defined. See, the user is declaring some variables like x comma y comma z, whatever you are declaring, those are called user defined. So the variables or the functions which are declared by the user are called user defined functions. The variables, the functions or methods which are getting from the software or which are getting from the application related software, those are called predefined or keywords or system defined. System defined, predefined, or we can also call it as a keywords or called as a keywords. So here the first one, class, is a, so what we'll call as a class is a keyword which is used to define in the Java. In the Java. So you can say it as a class is nothing but a, we'll discuss later, combination of data provider, okay, I call it data member as well as member function. So you can say it as a combination of data member or as a member function. This is called as a class. Data member mean that whatever variable we are declaring inside the class, inside the class is known as data member. The function which is declared inside the class is called as member function. Is called as a member function. ఏదైతే వేరియబుల్ క్లాస్ లోపల డిక్లేర్ చేస్తే దాన్ని డేటా మెంబర్ అంటాం. ఏదైతే ఫంక్షన్ మనం క్లాస్ లోపల డిక్లేర్ చేస్తే దాన్ని మనం మెంబర్ ఫంక్షన్ అంటాం. విల్ కాల్డ్ as a member function. So those two combination will called as a class. Will called as a class. So ఈ క్లాస్ మనం ఏమనొచ్చు, we can also called as a keyword. Called as a keyword. Now public, what do you mean by public? This is a keyword. It is got a built-in function. It is also a keyword which is used to access specifier. Access specifier or modular. Now, can anybody tell me what is the difference between public and private? Can anybody tell me what is the difference between public and private? Krishna? Public की private की difference ఏంటి?
Public, it is managed by the government actually. So in general, it is managed by the government, and private is managed by the individual.
Individual. Okay. The same thing which you are working with the Java is, for example, int x comma y, public void addition. I perform some operations. Public void subtraction. I perform some operations here. Public void multiplication. See. Okay. I have declared the variable outside the method. Okay, na? Outside the method. This is called public. That means that these variables can be accessible to this method, as well as to this method. This is called public. So that means that if the variables are declared before the method, it can be called to any other method. We can call to any other method. A method can any methods can call just code. That is called public. Okay, na? It is called public. Now, for example, if I declared int x comma y inside this method only, first method, right? If I declare this int x comma y in this method, that means that this x comma y can be used only to this method and which cannot be called to other methods. Which cannot be, I'm saying, which cannot be called to other methods. That is called private. Okay, now that is called private. So if the variables are declared before the method can be called to any other methods, that is called public. If the variables are declared inside the method, that can be called only to that method and which cannot be accessible to other methods. That is called private.
Private.
That is called private. That is called private. So that's the difference between a public and a private. So public is a access specifier which can be callable, which is used to access specifier or which can be callable to multiple times. మనం ఎన్నిసార్లు కాల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఈ వేరియబుల్. నెక్స్ట్ static. What do you mean by static? This is also a keyword. This is a keyword which is a constant value. Constant value mean constant. Static is a constant, right? So it is used to declare the variable or functions, a block of statements, those things we can go for static. So it is also used to when you want to declare a variable, some x equal to 10. 10 is a constant, static. Y equal to name, some name. Y is a name is string. So if I use static name equal to some value, that name will be fixed and we cannot change that. Static is a constant. Okay, na? Static is a constant. Next, void. Void. This is a keyword. This is a keyword. Next, it indicates that there is no value. There is a void is a null value. It doesn't have any value. It is a void is a null value. It is a null void, which returns. We can use return values also, but there is no value present in that. It doesn't have any value. So void is a null. Void is a null. Next, main is a method. Main is a method which is used to call. Is used to call. Main is a method which is used to call function, which is used to call the method, which is used to call the classes, which is used to call the packages. That's a main. Okay. Next, string. It is a keyword data type. We can say it as a data type. A string is a data type. We call it as a data type. String is nothing but we can say it as name, collection of characters. Collection of characters. Collection of characters. Collection of characters. Next, system.out.println. So system.out means it is a standalone output object. It is a standalone output object which is used to print a particular statement. Okay, so system.out is a standalone object which is used to print the statement. Which is used to print the statement. Okay, so these are the syntax of your Java. Okay, na? Got it?
Yeah, got
Okay. Public static void main. Next. So that's the difference. So when you go for a sample program, which you just we already worked with the sample program. When you want to print something like, so what we're doing, we are going to create a package, a project package in the class. Under the class, we are going to write the program. So what will write? System dot out dot println of welcome to Java. Welcome to Java. So this is a simple program where you are going to write in Eclipse. Now run as Java application. So we already worked with these things, right? So it is how to print the statement in Java. The syntax for sample program.
We have a space.
So that's no
After
problem.
Java, we
That's
have
no problem. That's no problem. Inside that you can give any spaces.
okay.
Okay, it is not mandatory to work. It is only print whatever they are given inside that. It will print that sum.
Okay.
Even if you give like this, it will print. It's in the quotations now. So it's in quotations, right? So whatever the things it is present, that values will be printed. Okay, na?
Okay.
So this is a sample program which you are going to work using Java. Okay, so this is the first part of your core Java. So why do you use Java, and what are the features of Java? What are the applications we can design the Java syntax and a sample program using Java? Now we'll see what do you remember variable and what are the types of variables will comes under Java. So now what do you remember first? We'll go for what is a variable. What is a variable in Java? What do you remember variable? Anybody? Sit. What do you remember variable? Anybody? What do you remember variable? Krishna? Chandu?
Not it is not consistent or something like that.
Hmm. Okay. So variable is nothing but the value which does not changes during the runtime. Which changes we call it as a variable. The value which changes or which changes during runtime process. During runtime process is known as a variable, or it is a name of the storage space which is used to store data. It is a storage space which we can store the data is called as a variable. So its value can be changes. Value can be changed. Okay. Now it can always declare any data type. Whatever value we need to assign to a variable, we should have a data type. Without variable assigning the data type, you cannot assign the value to the variable. So data type is mandatory for assigning a value to the variable. Values to the variables. Example. For example, we'll go with the example here. See, I'm going to enter x equal to 10, right? Will this accepts? Will this accepts? Will this accepts? Accept just in the?
No.
No. So what we need to do? Int. Int is a data type. Without the data type, you cannot assign. It is an invalid declaration or invalid assigning value. So int x equal to 10. So this is valid. This is a valid. This is a valid. This is a valid. Okay. So these are invalid and this is a valid term. Okay. So this is how we are going to assign. Means mandatory. It is a assigning the values is mandatory to declaring the value. Okay. So example is so invalid. Assigning values, and this is a valid. So this is the how we are going to assign the values to the variable. Now when you want to declare a variable, the variable declaration, how we are going to declare the variable is, so we can declare it as variable declaration. How you are declaring? Int something like roll number, int or string name, character C, character C. So in that, or you can use grade. We can get grade, float marks. So in this way you can declare it. Roll number 1 2 3 4 5, string name of the person, grade A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade, float 90.5 82.5, those are all float values. Okay na? So this is how we are going to declare. We are going to declare the values. Now how we are going to assign the values to the variable? Assigning values to variable. Int roll number equal to 120. String name equal to testing. Next, character grade equal to A grade. Float marks equal to 56.0. So in this way, we are going to assign the values to the using variables. So this is how we are going to declare the variable, and this is how we are going to assign the values to the variable. Got it, Chandu?
Yes. So we have less than 1 minute. That meeting will get
Again,
closed.
you can rejoin.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Now, what are the rules for declaring the variable? There are many rules are there. Rules to be followed. For defining a variable. What are the rules to be followed for defining a variable?